All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Monday Motivation. Hope you're having a wonderful July so far. We've been having some great conversations, and this week is no different. I'm your Coach Dell here, by the way. In case you forgot who's doing these Monday Motivation, you can call me Coach Dell, Dr. Dell, whatever you want to call me. Hey, I'm glad you're here, and I know these are making a difference for you, so just keep listening. And my clients are telling me that they're making a big difference for them, right? Because we're talking about things that help you to break through those mental blocks, shift your identity, and become the version of you who finally gets lasting results. Because this is what you're after. You're after lasting results, right? So today we're going to dive deep into something that might just blow your mind. I hope it blows your mind because it's important, right? If you've ever struggled with consistency, self-sabotage, or emotional eating, or just feeling stuck, no matter how hard you try, listen up today, because today we're talking about the 6 human needs and how they secretly run the show when it comes to your health and weight loss journey. And, guys, this is why I keep focusing on this, because I keep helping you to understand. I want you to really understand that your journey is not really about strategy. It's not just about what you eat and how much water you drink and your activity and exercise and sleep. No, it's not just about that. That's just strategy. That's only a small fraction of it. And that's what I want you to really understand, that what matters most are the mindset shifts that you make. So those 6 human needs, right? These are the things that really run the show. This is why you keep going back to old habits, right? This is why motivation fades. This is why even smart, driven people may feel like they're failing sometimes. And guess what? It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack willpower, because it's not about willpower. It's because your brain is hardwired to meet certain emotional needs. So let me say that again. Your brain is hardwired to meet certain emotional needs. And if those needs aren't met in healthy ways, you will find destructive ways to meet them. And now that is worth repeating. Your brain is hardwired to meet certain emotional needs. And if those needs aren't met in healthy ways, you'll find destructive ways to meet them. And those destructive ways are the things that lead to self-sabotage. So, the 6 human needs are a basic framework that Tony Robbins developed, and, he kind of borrowed it from, Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And this is psychology I'm talking about now, right? So Maslow's hierarchy of needs is what we've been using in psychology for years to kind of outline the fundamental needs of human beings. And Tony Robbins just created his own little framework on human needs. And I kind of like his little framework on the 6 human needs. And I think it really encapsulates, the different aspect of our journey and the things that really affect us in very powerful ways. Right? Because we're talking about the human operating system. So, the framework is that all humans have 6 basic emotional needs. And these needs drive our behavior. They shape our choices, and they control what we focus on. So on your journey, this is the secret operating system. These are the things that are driving your behavior, that's shaping your choices and controlling what you focus on. So pay attention, right? Here are the 6 needs in short order. We have the need for certainty. We have the need for uncertainty, right? Or we'll call that variety. We have the need for significance, or to feel important. We have the need for love and connection. We have the need for growth. We have the need for contribution. Now you hear all the different aspects of importance in there, all the different things that are affecting your journey. Yes, it's important. So every decision you make, from what you eat to whether you show up for your workout to whether you keep going or quit on yourself, is meeting one or more of these needs. Every decision you make is meeting one or more of these needs. So understanding what these needs are is important to keep you moving forward on your journey. So let's explore what all this looks like on your health and weight loss journey. Right? The first need, certainty. We have the need for certainty. We're humans. We need to know that, kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Well, we have the need for safety. Well, certainty is kind of that. You need to feel safe. You need to feel in control and confident in what to expect. But weight loss brings a lot of uncertainty, right? Will this work? What if I fail again? How long will it take? Right? Why is it going by so slowly? There's a lot of uncertainty in weight loss, and we have the need for certainty. So understand that up front will help you along. And if this need for certainty isn't met with structure and self-trust, you'll reach for food and routine, or just drop back into old habits to feel safe again. So again, it is not that you lack willpower. It is not that you're failing. It is that you have the need to feel safe again. And when you don't feel safe, you will revert back to what made you feel safe. So you see how, your brain is leading the show here? Because these emotional needs are coming from, these are hardwired in your brain. Right? So here's the move that is important to help you to feel that certainty. Right? You want to build daily rhythm. You want to track simple wins. You want to create rituals that anchor you. Most importantly, on those hard days, you got to trust in the process. And that's why we don't want to focus on, the scale. You want to focus on those simple wins that are helping you move forward. Hey, I'm doing better with my meals. I'm more consistent with my meals than I was before. I'm eating better. Hey, I'm making different choices than I would have in the past. Those are all non-scale victories that are significantly important in helping you to create certainty that what you're doing is taking you down the path that you want to go. You see the beauty of this? It's important. And that's why for you to be successful, you've got to focus on these little wins. You got to focus on these little non-scale victories to give you the certainty that, hey, things are happening. I'm moving forward. You see the beauty of this? You see how this works? If you just focus on the scale and nothing is moving, the scale is moving, well, guess what? There's no certainty because I don't see anything happening. So you're more likely to revert back to that place where you felt safe and you felt like, hey, I know I'm okay. So it's important for you to divorce yourself from the scale and focus on the little things that are happening, the habits you're building, the things you can't see on the scale that demonstrate to you that things are happening. Right? That's certainty. Here's the second. Uncertainty. We have the need for uncertainty. We call that variety. You need to be surprised. You need excitement. You need change. When your routine feels too rigid or boring, guess what? You rebel. You reach for food, for novelty, for comfort. So you got to have some uncertainty built in there. You got to be changing up what you're doing constantly. Otherwise, it becomes just routine. It becomes boring. You're doing the same workouts over and over again, gets boring. You're eating the same stuff over and over, gets boring. You're staying on plan all the time, gets boring. Yes, you got to eat off plan sometimes. That is variety. That is uncertainty. And that is an important part of the process to train your brain that, no, this is not a diet. I am not restricting myself. Nothing is off the table. That is uncertainty. That is variety. Because that is life. You need to live in the world and learn how to participate in the world. And the world is about variety. It's about uncertainty. You need that novelty. You need surprise. You need excitement. You need change. So understand that this is an important part of the process. And it's built in the equation for you to change and win, right? Because 80-20, 80% of the week is 6 days, 20% is that one day. That one day, it is okay for you to have a deviation meal. A deviation day is one deviation meal. It is okay for you to plan to do something different. It's okay. You're still going to be moving forward. You're still going to win. Because you have that need for uncertainty. You have that need for variety. Here's a third need. Significance. Human beings have the need for significance. We all need to feel important. We need to feel like we matter. But if your self-worth is tied to a number on the scale, or if being perfect, you always feel like you're not enough. You see that? If your self-worth is tied to that number on the scale or being perfect, you'll always feel like you're not enough. Or worse, you'll use food to fill that void. That's what a lot of people do. They use food to fill that void because there's an emptiness there that needs to be filled, and it will be filled. And often we use food or other destructive behaviors, alcohol, smoking, other things to fill that void. So how do you meet that need for significance? Well, you need to celebrate your progress, not perfection. Celebrate your progress, not perfection. You need to focus on the gain and not the gap. Focus on the gain, how far you've come, not how far you have to go. I was talking to a client last week and she lost 20 pounds and she was still pissed off because she's still 20 pounds away from her goal. I was like, no, you don't focus on how far you have to go. Look at this. You are halfway to your goal, but you're still pissed off that you're not further along because you're looking at the gap. You're not focusing on the gain. You're halfway there. And to think that you are further along today than you were yesterday. You're much further along now than when you started 3-4 months ago. Ain't that cool? Ain't that beautiful? You celebrate your progress. We're not looking for perfection. So you got to look at those non-scale victories and know that you don't need to earn your worth, folks. You don't need to earn your worth. You already have it. You don't need to earn your worth. You already have it. So just focus on celebrating your progress. We don't need to be perfect. Number 4 is the need for love and connection. Love and connection. We're human beings. We need to feel love. We need to feel connected to something outside of us. This is huge. And that's why I keep telling you that, hey, a community is important because we all need to feel connected to something outside of us. And that's why I encourage you to focus on participating in the community. Show up to those group calls, participating in the community forum. Show up to the larger community calls. You need to connect with other people who are on the journey with you, because that is a fundamental human need. And when that need is not met, right? Emotional eating is often just a cry for connection. Emotional eating is often just a cry for connection. with yourself or other people. You use food to soothe that loneliness, to avoid emotions, or to connect to old memories, right? See, you need to form connections. You have a community, you have a tribe, and you need to connect to that tribe. That is significant because you're a human being and you need love and connection. So I want you to start practicing some self-compassion. I want you to start journaling your emotions. I want you to call your friend. Call a friend instead of calling DoorDash, right? Call a friend. Have a conversation. You don't need DoorDash. Let's focus on connection over consumption. Remember that. Connection over consumption. Drop a message in the client group. Tell others what you're struggling with. Share your wins. Right? Support somebody else who's going through a struggle. Believe it or not, it'll make you feel better. Believe it or not, it'll make you feel more connected when you're supporting others. Right? Very important. Remember, it's one of our fundamental needs for connection, for love. Number 5 is growth. We have the need to feel like we're growing. You're either growing or you're dying inside, folks. You're either growing or you're dying inside. Which do you want to be? You got to be growing. And that is what these Monday motivations are for. These are for growing. These are for expanding your mind, expanding your world, for you becoming. These Monday motivations are the ideas, the thoughts that you need to focus on creating that new identity, that future self that you're becoming. That is what this focuses on. This is about growth. Because remember, you don't get what you want, you get who you become. Because the results you're looking for don't belong to you, they belong to that better version of you. So you must grow, you must evolve in order to attain the results you're looking for, number 1, and number 2, in order to keep them. If you don't grow, if you don't evolve, you may lose 100 pounds, but you may be like one of those clients I see on my onboarding calls at least every couple months who say, hey coach, I lost 100 pounds twice, and here I am. I can't tell you how many times over the past 30 years I've heard that. It is not uncommon. Why? Because you can do all this stuff. You can focus on the macros and you can focus on the calorie counting and the points and all of the diet stuff, and you can lose the weight. But that's only temporary. If you're not growing, if you're not evolving, if you're not changing your physiology, if your body isn't shifting on the inside, if your body isn't up-leveling your physiology to meet the results you're getting, guess what? You will revert right back to where you are. And where you are right now is where your body is. In order for you to grow, in order for you to get great results and keep it, you've got to grow, you've got to expand, you've got to evolve, and your body has to do the same. Your physiology has to grow, evolve, expand, get better. Your hormones have to get healthier. Your metabolism have to be optimized. Your circulation, digestion, elimination, all your body's systems and organs must start working at a much higher level than they are now. If they don't, your results is temporary. I don't care how much weight you lose, that weight loss is just temporary. You must grow. So what I want you to focus on is, I want you to track those mindset shifts, folks. I want you to reflect on how you're evolving, right? Make it about who you're becoming, not just what you're losing. Make it about who you're becoming, not just what you're losing. That is a fundamental need. The need to feel like you're growing. The need to feel like you're becoming your best self. Because at the end of the day, you're either evolving or you're dying. I mean, there's no other option. Here's the 6th and final need. It's the need for contribution. We all need to feel like we're making a contribution. At a certain point, it's no longer about you. If it's all about you, then guess what? That's just a temporary thing. We all need to feel like we're making a contribution. So when you start showing up for others, your family, your kids, your community, your purpose multiplies. We all need to feel like we're making a contribution. That is when you become unstoppable, folks. That is when you become unstoppable. So to meet that need, you need to inspire others. Inspire someone. Share your journey. Share your journey. Be the light someone else needs. And you'll find new fuel for yourself. When you share what you're doing, don't be stingy. Don't keep it to yourself. Share what you're doing. Don't share with the intention of trying to get other people to do what you're doing. No, you share your progress, your wins, what's happening for you, how healthy you're becoming, how your life has changed. That is what you want to share. And when you share, you become the light. That is what I've always strived to do in my life, right? This has always been my journey. I've been on this journey since I was 13 years old, and I've never really had the need to tell people about fitness, about why they should live a fit, healthy life. I demonstrate. At every part of my journey, my goal has always been to demonstrate what's possible. Demonstrate what it looks like to live a healthy, fit life. Demonstrate what it looks like to be fit, to be your fittest self, to be your healthiest self. Demonstrate what you can do. Demonstrate. As Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world, right? Be the change. You want to see a healthy world? Well, be the change. You don't need to tell people about things. You just need to demonstrate it. Be it. So share your journey, because your journey will inspire others. And here's the truth, guys. Every self-sabotaging habit you have is meeting one or more of these needs. I want you to understand that. Every self-sabotaging habit you have is meeting one or more of these needs. It's not about weakness, it's about needs being met in the wrong way. Binge eating meets the need for certainty. Skipping workouts meets the need for comfort. Overthinking meets the need for control. But none of those habits move you forward, do they? Your job isn't to eliminate those needs, it's to meet them in ways that align with your goals. And when you do, that's when real transformation begins. I want you to really understand that. So here's a challenge for the week. Ask yourself this every time you make a choice. What need am I really trying to meet right now? What need am I really trying to meet right now? That is your challenge for the week. What need am I really trying to meet right now? And then, how can I meet that need in a way that serves my future self? How can I meet that need in a way that serves my future self? That's the shift. That's the magic. That's the shift that moves you forward, right? So here's the thing, guys. We all have the need for certainty, uncertainty or variety, significance, love and connection, growth and contribution. And remember that every habit we practice is meeting one of these needs, either in a powerful and supportive way that's moving you to your goal, or in a self-sabotaging way. So remember, you don't need more willpower. You need better strategies for meeting your fundamental needs. You're not broken, you're not lazy, you're human. And now you're armed with a powerful new framework to win. So if you've been feeling stuck, I challenge you to rise. Meet your needs, lead yourself, and evolve into the version of you who already has the results you're chasing. Guys, that is your future self. You got this. I know you got this. If this hits home, share it. Share it with somebody else. And remember, the results you want, they already belong to your future self. They already belong to the better version of you. So you've got to evolve to claim it. You've got to evolve to claim the results you're looking for. And understanding these 6 human needs is one of the things you need to understand to evolve, to claim those results you're after. I hope this has been helpful. I encourage you to listen to this over and over again, because I guarantee it will be a fundamental and important part of your long-term success. I'll catch you next time.